everyone. I'm Bobbi Rowntree, born medium, and I am live this Sunday, October 1st. We are in a new month now. So, yeah, we're in a new month now. We are moving our way to Samhain, if you know what Samhain is, or yeah, we could say moving our way to Halloween as well. And I hope everyone is well today. Okie dokie. I will be doing readings today. If you have any questions, please make them not specific, but specific enough that they could be answered. Yes or no would be awesome. Hello, Julie. How are you? Happy Sunday. It is a happy Sunday. It's a lovely day out there. We're not getting rained on here on Vancouver Island. If we're not getting rained on, we think it's a lovely day. That's all that we need is just no rain. Okie dokie. All right. So today we are actually between readings. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk about spirituality. That's what the voices in my head say. But we're also going to talk about your spirituality. Say it 5 times fast. Hello, Carrie. How are you? Hello, Sarah. How are you? And Sarah's saying hello to everyone. And Carrie says hello, beautiful soul. So these are for everyone because we are actually all one great big community. I'm just the only one you guys can hear. Oh, cool. Linda just had a black bear visit her in her yard at Lake Cowichan. Is it a sign from the spirit world? What is she wanting me to know? Oh, what an excellent question, because animals are constantly often used by people on the other side and spirit because it's just easier for them. I actually hear in my head that that's easier to manipulate them. Hi, Dana. But I don't know if that sounds nice, but I can kind of see it because it is maybe a little bit, hello, Anne, easier to manipulate them. A black bear especially apparently is supposed to be of some sort of significance to you, Linda, and I'm not quite sure why. And is it my mom? More sent by my mom. Mama bear. Oh, I love that. And you know what's kind of funny, actually, because I had this candle and I was going to have it proudly displayed, but then I didn't. But it's the Mama Bear candle. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Anywho, so yeah, that's the way I'm seeing it. But okie dokie. When you get a thought like that, and actually, you know what? I'll put this up for everyone else to see. Okie dokie. What is she wanting me to know? I should actually answer that. Calm, relax. Take time. I don't know if the bear lumbered and showed you how slow bears can walk because, they can. And they can also run like 40 miles an hour, apparently, or kilometers. That's a big difference, isn't it? Anywho, someone tell me what it is. That I actually think it's lumber. It's take your time. When a bear walks slowly, they know they can walk slowly because who's going to stop them from walking? So I actually think that's a little bit of it. But for everybody's benefit, when people on the other side use animals, and it is absolutely true. I see it mostly with birds. And sometimes at first I thought it was actually because birds had bird brains. They weren't very bright. But I actually think it's just easier for us to look up for signs. This idea of angels flying, people on the other side being in the clouds and heavens and things like that. I think we look for signs this way. And we do get a lot of signs this way, like the rainbow itself is a sign, in my opinion. So, just for everybody's benefit. Now I'm going to say hi to a few people. Hello, Anne. Okie dokie. Now, I'll get right back and answer that question. Okay, everybody's got questions, so I'll just go straight to Anne. Have a reading, please. And like engagement, marriage for us. Is there a future ahead for me and Mike? Please. Is there a commitment coming, like engagement or marriage for us? Okie dokie. They actually show you opening your arms. I think actually what your answer is, be open to anything. And what you see is what you get. And they're actually showing you sniffing, but I think they're showing you sniffing as in like when people can tell something is happening, like they're sniffing around for clues or something to that effect. I kind of think that maybe the way that they're showing it, there's an inkling in your head that quite possibly a larger commitment is ready to be made in some way, but you might be right to believe it somewhat to yourself, or even not really wanting to tempt fate, jinx it, or anything like that. But I actually think it is real. And I also think that they want you to go with this eyes wide open as though you're going into a business deal, because when someone's going into a business deal, they are actually walking in knowing what their needs and wants are and what they're going to get out of the deal and what the partnership is going to entail. We do not do this with marriage. In fact, we go into marriage like this, hoping it'll work out. Very, very, very often, like I just want to be married, or because love kind of clouds logic a little bit in that sort of way. But love and logic can go together quite nicely, because one is the strongest emotion you can feel in the whole wide world, and the other one is a balancing act at all times. So we can get ourselves in trouble with love. We all know that because we tend to love people based on our own insecurities. But with this situation that you are in, they want you to go with your eyes wide open and with your wants, needs, and everything else intact. In fact, actually, I would even push this a little bit forward into the idea of you kind of asking for what you want in life. And if you're not going to ask it directly from the gent that you are with, they kind of want you to ask it about the universe around you, or even from yourself. I hope that helps. So, yes, but you can bring it closer or you can bring it farther. And okie dokie. All right. As past as tell me I am seeing here. Has anything to tell me I am seeing here, to tell me what I am not seeing here. Eagles always show themselves to me a validation of signs. Oh, me too, Sarah. Very, very much. And actually, an eagle for me is my dad. I immediately think it's my dad. And I have had eagles, swoop the hood of my car when I have been in certain places, or my eyes are drawn to them in certain places. Eagles tend to be used a lot. I have a lot of people who see eagles as kind of family helpers in a way, or somebody that is used by family in this kind of way. Okie dokie. Now, to tell you what you are not seeing, is I immediately actually go to your artwork when I hear that. It might be, I don't know if it's family or spirit guide, Sarah, but somebody, it's okie dokie. I actually think that you put the talent you have to good use. I think you help other people with it and you use it in a way that is exploratory. That's the word they want me to use. So within this, I actually think it might be a spirit guide thing, and it might have something to do with a series of paintings, because when they show me you painting, it's like me meditating or taking salt baths. And when I meditate or take salt baths, I actually get closer to what I'm supposed to do here. And everything that we're supposed to do here actually infringes and infects all of those around us. We are one great big old pack, and everything we do actually affects each other. So they're showing you being asked to do, it almost looks like a series of paintings to go deeper into yourself, maybe. And there might be a little bit of Diane and Artemis energy upon that, huntress. So okie dokie. There might actually also be a need for a sense of balance in your life. I don't know if you actually in your family are being the ombuds person or the person in between two parties in some way, but they're showing that there's a need for balance without this much or this much. And sometimes with the need for balance, I just want to make 100% sure, 100% sure. Okie dokie. Yeah, because it could be a give and take thing. It could be that you're giving out too much and not taking in enough, and then you are out of balance in that sort of way. So I hope that makes sense. And if, yeah, clarification is needed, let me know. Do you see when the commitment will come? The commitment will come when you are ready. I know. Hate that answer. Do you? I understand. Yeah, because the commitment will come when it comes, because his free will is involved in it. And with free will, we have to go with um, what one person and another person have to coincide with the things that they are doing at that time, what they are ready for at that time. So that's where the free will comes in. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. All right. Now, I'm just going to say hi to a few more people, and then I'm going to go back to a few more questions. Okie dokie. Hello, Loretta. Hello, Pat. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Kita. Hello, Amanda. Okie dokie. I think we're up to date now. All righty. Okie dokie. Okay, I just got to find where I was. All right, Julie. My BB through marriage is on the other side. Does she have a message for her daughters, Maya and Vina? Thank you so much for giving me the pronunciations of things, Julie. That's awesome sauce. Okie dokie. Messages for her daughters, Maya and Vina. Honestly, the first thing I hear is cliche. It is actually don't sweat the small stuff. That's cliche. And I kind of think that actually might be an immediate sort of thing. It might be that the little things are actually getting to them right now. I don't know. I believe this either might be their grandmother or mother that has crossed over, and it might be a little bit too overwhelming. So they have to let the little things go and actually concentrate on the big things, because their grief is not only a loss, but it is a gain in another way. It might be a responsibility gain in some way, but it's something they actually weren't ready for. So they need to take it as it comes. I don't know if this passing was a surprise or that people didn't realize the hole that it would create, because it does somewhat create holes in families when people cross over, because people have roles in families. So, yeah, I think actually Maya is in need of stepping up to the plate, like taking some sort of charge. And Vina actually, she shows like this, like she's holding her knees and rocking back and forth, which to me is self-soothing. It's taking time. When we hold our knees so close to our chest, that's actually what I used to do when I would try to get the voices in my head to go away, because it's very cathartic, it's very cleansing, and it helps to refocus us. So I actually think that might be what Vina needs. Okie dokie. I hope that helps. Pat, any non-specific messages for me? Okie dokie. I wanted to even talk to you last week, actually. And I almost messaged you because W made me want to. It was in my head. Yeah. I was going to call him rude, but I'm not going to mess with him right now, actually. And I actually think it has to do more with grandpa or your dad than it has to do with W. And because it has to do with the anniversary. And okay. Okay. Huh. Do you bring joy into your life, or do you go about your business? Do you do what you need to do, or do you actually do things that are just fun or frivolous or that just make you smile? The next thing I actually want to ask is if maybe you found a dime by your driver's seat, because I'm seeing that as well. I have found dimes on the floor of the driver's seat before, actually just the other day, and they're showing me that as well. So it could be a combo hack there where they're trying, yeah. Like, I don't know if you leave the house to go do things that are fun. They want me to say it twice. I don't know that you leave the house to go do things that are fun. I think they want you to do things that are fun. And it doesn't mean that you absolutely have to leave your house to do things that are fun. But there might be more fun out there with other folks and other sceneries and things like that. Because I actually kind of see you just walking around the air park. So to me, that's fun, to be perfectly honest. Because I can spend time with a friend or just be out with people, see babies and see dogs and things like that. And to me, that's a dang good time. So they might be using that as an example because I see that as a really good time, but they also might be trying to say to you, new perspective, new things to look at, seeing things in a different sort of way. Because when we go outside as well and we see the world happening around us, we know that we're a part of the world rather than we are the whole world. Because when you think you are the whole world, it can be a little bit overwhelming. And then everything you do and everything you feel seems humongous and insurmountable. When we know that we're a tiny part of the world and the world is a much bigger thing, then we can actually see the little things that happen to us and kind of roll off them a little bit better. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Hello, Ruth. How are you? Okie dokie. Now, Kita, you just asked for messages. So usually I'd like you to be a little bit more specific, but I actually don't think I kind of have to be right now. See your dog. Okie dokie. That's interesting. Oh my gosh. Is it people on the other side speak through animals day to day, for goodness sakes? Holy cow, am I ever seeing a lot of animal connection sort of things. So, Kita, they are showing you with your dog, and it's your nan, your grandma, your gran, can't, your grandma to me, because that's what I would call her. They show you trying to get the dog to do something or trying to get the dog's attention, and then grandma shows herself. So it could be that your dog is showing you something. And pay attention to what your dog is showing you a little bit. They also want you to pay attention to what you feel in your heart. I think a decision needs to be made in some sort of way, and you need to trust your heart or you need to follow your heart. So much more difficult to do this blindly like this. So I hope that makes sense. They also show you cleaning off your feet. So within this, you might want to let go of where you have been or what has happened to you before, or if that makes sense, because if you can let go of what you've been, we can color our experiences based on what has happened before. So if you let go of what has happened before or prior experiences, then every experience is new and you don't put your old taint upon upon the experience. I hope that makes sense. So they want you to look at something fresh in some sort of way. Yeah, I wonder if it's romantic. I'm not quite sure, but okie dokie. Amanda, what a great question. Been wondering if I've already met my twin flame in this life. Okie dokie. Twin flames. I get spoken to about this a lot, the twin flame or the soulmate idea. And immediately I hear the Lizzo song. I'm my own soulmate. I know how to love me. I know I'm always going to hold me down. Anywho, that I believe to be absolutely true. But at the same time, I kind of the soulmate twin flame sort of idea. I think there are certain souls that we have a lot of business with and that we attract back to us life after life after life because we have things we want to do with them or things we want to accomplish or things we need to learn from each other in some sort of way. And I don't believe, I have not seen it that there's only one. I have seen it that we can have several or one or two or a few or something like that, because it's kind of the same thing. I know your soul doesn't really change, but the way your soul interacts with your mind does, because your mind expands, your mind changes, your mind globs onto new ideas and new thoughts and theories and such. And you can be soulmates with a human being. Free will comes into that. Thank you very much. But Yeah, okay, this is where the free will comes in. Thank you. That soulmate might actually do some things that takes them away from you in some sort of way that makes it so that you guys don't connect or they pass earlier or something like that happens. Then what? Are you like void of all massive twin flame soulmate love? No, apparently not, because your soul is eternal. And they just popped another idea in my head. What if not every soulmate is predetermined before you even come down? What if soulmates are built some way, somehow throughout this lifetime? This lifetime that you're leading right now is choice, 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 choice. This is the learning center. This is where we come to become better souls. So, within that idea, if you're here to become a better soul, then there's other souls here to become better souls, and those souls are eternal as well. And you maybe somehow you actually aren't meeting each other for the first time in this lifetime. Maybe you've met each other over and over and over again throughout lifetimes. And if you have different lifetimes, then you're going to meet different souls in different sorts of ways. So if you have already met your twin flame, and they're not there right beside you right now, that does not mean that you will not meet another one at another time. Now, specifically for you, Amanda, I actually hear not ready yet. So if and when you meet your twin flame, they will be ready and you will be ready at the same time. I kind of think you got three of them, to be perfectly honest, because sometimes, yeah, we wear it a welcome with certain things. That twin flame might not be on the same page as you. They might be a little bit different than you. So, yeah, I don't attach it to just one human being. But if you want to meet your twin flame, ask to meet them, ask to see them, and do everything you can to be the person you want to be when you do meet them, so that you are at your best, so that they will be at their best, and together. Hope that helps. I feel like I ran in a circle. Ah, smashing. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Anne. Penny. She was the matriarch of the family. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Julie, because it really looked like she was the matriarch of the family, and that now there's some big art, I actually almost said big shoes to fill, but I don't think this one would want me to say that, to be perfectly honest. Hello, Penny. You're welcome, Julie. Okie dokie. Now, hi, Bobbi. I'm wondering if anyone has any messages for me about if things are going to work out with work. Okie dokie. Now, it's interesting. Is work not going well? Are you feeling a little bit? Because I'm seeing you put a square peg into a round hole. It might be that you might not feel like it's the right place at some point, or it's feeling a little uncomfortable in some sort of way. And I don't really entirely okie dokie. What I'm actually supposed to tell you is things are going to work out at work in the best way possible for you. And I kind of think I'm supposed to say it to you like that, because when they do, when the dust settles, let's put it that way, you might be like, what? This isn't great. This sucks, donkey's balls. Anyway, but it actually might not. Sometimes when things don't go well the way we thought they were going to go, it's actually because we didn't realize how they should go or how much better they could be in some sort of way. There's something about do I say it as change? It kind of, yeah, there might be a change that is needed or coming, having to do with your work. Like it almost looks like you transfer to a different town. And I don't know, understand that, but you actually might be able to understand that better than I, because you know your situation, and hopefully that makes sense for you. Hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Pamela. Hi, Bobbi. Just wondering if I can give me a timeline for what special guy and I'll finally be able to be together. Okie dokie. Sooner than you think. That's the first thing I hear. So that's the first thing I'm going to go with, because, when I start thinking myself out of stuff. So yeah, sooner than you think. And in fact, actually, they're showing it, the workings of a clock, all the cogs and such. They're showing the cogs and wheels going. That's kind of like they're slowly moving. The cogs are, there seems to be a beginning of an end, if you know what I mean. That's what it very much looks like, but it's a very slow movement, and it's kind of good that it is a slow movement, because then everything is taken care of, or everyone is taken care of, and everything can be closed up nicely and concisely. I hope that makes sense. Because you don't want a bunch of loose ends. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. What a great question. Thank you, Carrie. Okie dokie. And this is advice that I think everyone can look at if you're a parent, or if you're a young person, or if you're a person right now that is feeling these sorts of things. Hi, my 15-year-old is starting to see spirits more and more visual. Can advice to help her enhance her gift? Okie dokie. Now, at 15, I don't know entirely that I would really want to enhance the gift as much as I would want to take control. You can't really take full control, but you can take control over how messages and things are received by you, and how they make you feel, and what kinds of things come to you in. Okay, well, okay, they're making me talk and I'm disagreeing. But okie dokie, meditation. That is number one. Absolutely number one is meditation, because meditation will help your daughter to understand how her brain works, how she works. She will, once you start to meditate and get to know your inner self, I actually think yoga might be something that she wants to do as well, because that will help her to know her physical self. Our body-mind connection and our spirit-mind connection are actually the things that we need to look more into when it comes to our psychic abilities, because we're all actually psychic running around here, but there's different levels of psychic abilities and different types of psychic abilities. Like, I have 3 children, and all 3 of them have different types of psychic abilities. None of them have exactly the same psychic ability that I do, because they're them and I'm me. It's kind of like your voice. My voice sounds a certain way because it's mine. Nobody else sounds like me. Nobody. You could do an impression of me, but you're still not me. So it's the same thing with your psychic abilities, because they're individual. Now, moving towards them at the age of 15 can be, the word they give me is risky. And I don't want to really use the word risky because it feels very negative, but I kind of agree, because at 15, your hormones are in flux. You're in puberty. So you don't really know who you are. What your daughter actually needs to do is ground. She needs to do a lot of grounding and earth kind of work. She might even want to start gardening or working with plants in some way. Horticulture. They actually even call it just horticulture. So that, to me, brings it up to a different level. Horticulture and gardening. Like gardening, everyone does. Horticulture is a stronger understanding of plants and a stronger understanding of what you're doing, in my opinion. So that's where they kind of send her a little bit, which it doesn't absolutely have to be horticulture. It can be anything that makes her feel strongly rooted in who she is, because that is what she needs to do. She also might want to make demands on who gets to come and see her, because the negative ones come without asking and the positive ones need to be asked. Annoying, but true. So she needs to surround herself with positive energy and positive things. I also think she needs a salt lamp in her room, because they're showing me she needs a salt lamp in her room. She might also want to she could use a selenite lamp, because they're showing me selenite. When I said salt, they showed me selenite. So the selenite, and I kind of think it's the house you live in, to be perfectly honest. I think that she's the one who's noticing it the most, but I actually think all of you are being affected in some sort of way. So you might want to either lavender smudge or get indigenous smudge and made grown by an indigenous folks, and use that to actually clean the energy of your house and make sure that the energy of your house is always on a positive realm, rather, because again, the positives have to be asked and the negatives just walk right in. So keep everything on a positive as well for her. And I'm being told to tell you that you don't want to give her free reign, that this is something that's a little bit bigger than what she understands and maybe even what you understand. So you want to treat it with the respect that it requires. I hope that makes sense. I really do. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Linda, excellent question. I'm about to begin to knuckle down and seriously take some courses and learnings to help me meditate, clear my chakras and aura, open myself to accepting and understanding energies, and develop my intuitive skills. Do you feel this is my time? I hear you're late, to be perfectly honest with you. What do you see for me around this? Okie dokie. I see movement for you around it, actually, a lot. And when I see the movement, I actually kind of see it like this. So this is the movement of the Kundalini energy, in my opinion. So I see that around it. I also see, that you might be late. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That's what I'm seeing. So, that's interesting. They're showing when I first opened up, and when I first opened up, I was quite surprised at what I could see immediately. And it was kind of because they were waiting for me. They knew I was going to be opening up sooner or later, or they just knew I needed to open up. So because of that, when I did actually open up, they were like, oh, finally, here you are. There you are. Oh my gosh. And I think you might run into a similar sort of thing, Linda. Also, too, when I started reading yours, they showed me this. When I first started, I went and I bought this at a store on Salt Spring Island. This actually details every chakra, the glands, the emotions, the foods, the elements that it is connected with. They're showing me that with you. So it might be that you are the type of person who needs to know the details about things before you move into things, because that back knowledge will also give you the forefront knowledge when they start to show things to you. And I hope that makes sense. You are on the right track. It's not too early. In fact, it's just kind of late, but you're never late because it's your party. So yeah. Okie dokie. Hello, Josie. The right decision for our son, Frank. Okie dokie. I actually immediately hear, yes, you did. It was a hard one. I kind of hear that it was a really, really hard one, and that making this decision has put a lot of fear in your heart, fear of that decision actually discombobulating everything or tearing things apart or making it so that, that there are difficulties for you within your heart and soul. But I'm not sure if you've made a tough love kind of decision, or if you've made it's a hard decision for you to have made, but it was the right one. And whatever it was with the decision, they do this, like you're done with that. And this decision sets the new pattern in a different kind of way. And it kind of brings everything out in the open in some way. So I'm not even sure what it is, but okie I hope that makes sense. You are very welcome, Amanda. Okie dokie. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Megan. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Emerald. That's an awesome name. Hi, Carrie. We said hello. Hey, Layla. Hey, sorry. Pamela, we've talked. Okie dokie. I've said hello to everyone here. Alrighty then. Hi, Lindsay. Okie dokie. Megan. Could you, if you're still there, be just tiniest more specific and just say a word? I mean a name. Titles I get, but names are easier because then I don't have a preconceived notion, like, mom, dad, brother, sister. If you just say their name, it gives me less of a preconceived notion. But Actually, as I start talking to you, I start seeing things. I'm actually seeing you on a motorcycle. Not quite sure what that means. To me, a motorcycle is something people can, well, it's not true. You can't only ride them alone, but you're alone on it. And it might be that part of your journey is alone, or it might actually even have something to do with motorcycles. I'm being told to tell you to look up, that you might be looking down at the road and they want you to look up at the road ahead of you. So it's not where you are, it's where you're going. I kind of think that's what I'm supposed to tell you. And shoot higher, would you? You might want to ixnay the past by looking for something more in the future. That's actually the way that they want me to say it to you. Also, too, you're wearing a helmet when you are on your motorcycle. And I don't know if that is significant or not significant. I like to tell you everything that I see. You're wearing a helmet and a black leather jacket, which is exactly what I would see you wearing if you were on a motorcycle. So I'm not sure if that is the reason why I see it, or if it actually has significance and meaning. So, and it is that regular motorcycle jacket that we tend to see on folks, a very trendy jacket right now. Like they've come back a little bit. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. But if you need clarity, you just let me know and you can ask another question down the line. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Canning applesauce. I love that. Just finished canning applesauce, feeling mama with me during this process. Missing her. I wish I could take the time to learn from her. I actually hear that you still can. I am actually hearing that taking the time that you still have access to her and things that she could tell to you. Okie dokie. They can talk to us in different kinds of ways. And actually, when I see this for you, I see someone I lost last year who I think is still guiding me and figuring out ways to guide me. She'll play a certain song in my head over and over again, and that lets me know that she's right there. And that song talks about asking advice and such. And then she will actually show me things in my life. How do I put that? Because I'm so used to listening. My entire life is just constantly listening to the group in the back of my head and trying my hardest to give as much attention as I can to those right in front of me. So for myself, I am in a constant state of listening to my head. I actually wonder if you are as well, because they it's strange that I'm seeing it in that kind of way. I actually think I'm supposed to tell you to trust what you hear. Trust your instincts, because I'm seeing you in my kitchen and doing stuff and reaching for stuff and going, oh, why am I? Okay, well, like that. So I kind of think that she is there. I also think there was a buzzing. And I don't know if it was in your body, like a kind of a vibration in your body, or if there was a sound, there was a buzzing of some sort. So, and that's something that tells you that she is with you. It could actually be in your ears, because that is really, really, really common. Like, I get a high pitch in my ears. Sometimes it's like, holy snot, stop it. I'm listening, whatever. What is it? Because I'll ignore it. So there's something like that, a buzzing or in your ears. Apparently you did a good job. I'm supposed to tell you, you did a good job too. I even think you did an extra step of some sort that maybe she didn't do. So I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Now, Emerald. That's such a cool name, Emerald. Okie dokie. And I think of the Emerald City, and I think of the heart chakra, and I think of green and healing and love, and it's a smashing name, really. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting to me that I just loved all up on your name, and then I'm supposed to tell you to think better of yourself, to think more of you, and that you might actually think well of you. Because what I'm seeing in relation to that is I've written a novel, and I'm writing my second novel, but within that, I actually sometimes wonder what business I have writing a novel. And when I look back, I've actually been writing my entire life. I have lots of business writing, but it just seems like something smart people do. And there might be something in that with you. There might be something that you can do that you might be selling yourself short on. that you actually might be better at something than you realize you are, or you might have a talent that you don't even realize is a talent. If that makes any sort of sense, because it might come quite naturally to you. Explore. That's actually what I'm hearing. They want you to flex your muscles, explore what it is you can do. And it looks like this. I don't know if you're a healer, which is kind of neat. If your name is Emerald and you are a healer, because that's neato mosquito. Also, lead with love. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm supposed to tell you that love is the greatest power in the world. And I would be very surprised if you didn't know that, to be perfectly honest. So almost like I'm telling you something you already know. But yeah, be nice to you. Yeah, that's a really big thing. I actually, okay, they're showing me something I had to do that my spirit guides pushed me on because I wasn't feeling very good about myself and I wasn't quite seeing it as not feeling good about myself. All I was seeing was that my life was going down the toilet, like financially, emotionally, oh, it's just blah. But then they said to me, I love you. You need to tell yourself you love yourself. So every time I saw myself or glimpsed myself in a store window, anywhere, I had to say, I love you. And it actually made a humongous difference in my life. It really did. My finances went up, my relationships went up, things got better with everything. So I kind of think that's what they want you to do, the I love you therapy. That's what I call it. I love you therapy, where you, every time you see yourself, have to say, I love you. And you might even actually have to add your name. You might need to actually, and maybe Emerald isn't your name, you might even need to say, I love you, Emerald, because then you're personifying it. You're actually giving it to you. You can't change it in your mind in some sort of way. And yes, you do feel like a weird ninny doing it, because I felt really strange doing it because I would have to do it in front of people. But I know I'm always being watched, so I got to do it. I got to do what they tell me to, or they will figure out other ways of getting me to do what they need. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Carrie, any advice for my spiritual side? Love that idea. Okie dokie. Your spiritual side. I just heard needs work. That's why I laughed, because it's not entirely true, but I think what they're trying to say is that spirituality actually, it's not work in that when you think of work as a bad thing or something that's difficult, but at the same time, it is kind of work, because work is, oh gosh, what is the definition of work? I know this. I learned this in grade 10 science. The definition of work, I think, is moving an object from one place to another. The definition of work then is change. Can we say it like that? Or movement or fulfillment or something to that effect. And that's actually, they want you to move a little bit stronger and harder into your spirituality and what you can do, and actually treat yourself as though your your business, your life, your spirituality and all are completely and absolutely intertwined at all times, because all of them have the common denominator of you. And they want you to look more into things like pothos and things that protect you and things that help the energy to flow. And because it could very well be having to do with a lot with where you live and the energy around you and things like that. And in my opinion, we could live in a ring of hell if we actually protected ourselves completely and knew who we were in balance. The ring of hell wouldn't affect us quite as much as it would if we weren't balanced or protected or knowing of who we are and what we need. So they want you to know who you are and what you need, and deep into you rather than outside. They want you to know how things make you feel rather than how you feel based on what you hear. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Thank you, Pamela. Okie dokie. Okay, thank you, Carrie. All right, Layla. We are going to be chatting Friday. Oh, absolutely. Your little girl is the reason we're going to be chatting Friday. She is the catalyst to your reading. Let me put it that way. And oh, oh, sorry. She is making me emotional. Oh, it's okay. I'm supposed to tell you that. I'm supposed to tell you it's okay. And daddy is okay. And there is no blame. And that she loves you. And that she's always cozy. Always cozy and comfy and like this. And she has some sort of stuffy with her. And I don't even know if it's a stuffy or if it's actually a dog. Knowing your mother, it might be a dog. Because she sends them there. And it actually might be a particular dog. It might be a dog that may have passed violently at the hand of another dog or the teeth of another dog. Let me put it that way. I also she shows you praying. So I'm not sure. She might want you to move deeper into your faith if you do have a faith. Or to me, prayer is the reliance on something bigger than us. That's not actually what I would have said, but that's what the voices wanted me to say. When we pray, we acknowledge the existence of God, source, universe, creator, whatever name you want to call it. It is something larger than us, and it is something that oversees all of this. And it can be disheartening to know about it, but it can also be comforting to know about it. But always it is the truth to know about it. And if we know that there is a larger, bigger place and a reason for everything, sometimes it can help us to balance what has happened here. And I hope that makes some sort of sense. But I am having to actually keep her just a little bit here so that she doesn't actually completely take over everything. And because my goodness, don't toddlers do that? But also, make me feel her feelings again. The little bit of a break I had was not my emotions, it was hers. And here she comes again. Oh, golly sakes. Oh, her passing has caused so much hurt, so much pain, so much discomfort, and so much and that's not what she needs it to do. And I don't know how she cannot cause that, honestly. But that is something that she wants you to get a hold of. That's actually the words that I use, and I don't really think that makes as much sense as I would love it to. But I can understand where she's coming from, because when people pass and we mourn them really, really, really hard, we actually can make it difficult for them on the other side. Not difficult in that we make them cold or lonely or sad. Difficult in that they can see us being sad for them. And then when they are in the place of beauty and happiness and paradise, it is a little bit more difficult for them to enjoy where they are and adjust to where they are. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Yes, thank you, Carrie. Yes, I think that makes sense. Hello, Josie. Hello. Hello, Sue. How are you? Been a long time. Bill. Excellent, Megan. Bill. Okie dokie. My immediate response, Bill was my father's name, so I go to Dad, and I don't know if that's me or if that's Bill. But I don't have to go to Dad. I can just go to Bill the man. That's what Bill tells me. I think he's wagging his finger at you, but I don't think he's wagging his finger at you in a bad kind of way. He's kind of wagging his finger at you in a different kind of way. Kind of in a, you know better kind of way. Come on now, that kind of way. There's tremendous love from Bill to you. There's also yeah, what the heck is that? It almost looks like the beginning of the Macarena. I almost want him to go. But I kind of think when somebody shows their palms like this, they are of no threat to you. They also have something to give you. And it could even be, golly sakes, like honestly, where my brain would go immediately is that Bill could do stuff with his hands. Maybe he knew it, maybe he didn't know it, but he may have gifted that to you in some sort of way. He may be trying to show you this genetic thing because he's showing me my last name right now. When I see my last name from them, it can denote two different things. I actually believe my last name is a clue to what I can do, because Rowntree can also be pronounced Rowantree, and the Rowantree is the White Witch magic tree. And to me, the fact that my name symbolizes that is part of the whole fabric of me knowing what I am. There's something like that with you. And it could be that you come from a long line of healers, or that you come from, because the palms, the hands, it doesn't absolutely have to mean healing like Reiki. It can mean, because I tell you, when somebody makes something for me, that is a healing, beautiful thing, because they're creating and fabricating something with their hands. Their epiphilials are on it, their sweat is on it, their love is in it, because they're actually adding that to it. So, boom, boom. And I swear there's something in his hand that he's giving to you. And I really, really, really hope that I am making sense, because Bill's a boy. Okie dokie. Also, look, there might be something in a book. And he says, look. And I'm not entirely sure what that means. Seek and ye shall find is the next thing that he says. So there might be something that he wants you to search for. Or if you look for him, you'll find him. That feels a little more hollow to me, to be perfectly honest. But honestly, whatever sparks in your head is the thing they're trying to say. So, because I can give you some, that's why when I do a reading and I say, okay, they're showing me this, does that make sense? And then someone can give something back to me and I go, oh, I see, I would have thought this, blah, 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 blah. So go with what you hear, that without my conjecture upon it. Let me put it that way. That the quick stuff that they throw at me. Sorry, that's my daughter texting me. Allow yourself to actually look through that and then see the thread, just in case I am kind of confusing you. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie, Caitlin. Hi, Bobbi. Any messages from my grandpa or Nana today? I think Nana's going to come to the forefront. Grandpa trying, but Nana, you just don't mess with Nanas and mummies. I tell you. She shows me what looks to me like a family album of sorts. And actually, it's almost like she's handing it to you. Are you doing a family tree? Or could she maybe want you to do a family tree? If you did a family tree, would it actually unlock a mystery of some sort? Maybe even a physical mystery inside of you in some sort of way? That's interesting. What she's actually pointing to is, that's kind of, okay. All right, she pointing to my grandmother and her rheumatoid arthritis. And I actually believe that my grandmother's rheumatoid arthritis was born out of her incredible psychic ability, coupled with her horribly hard life. And because she had such a horribly hard life, she was unable to completely and absolutely look into psychic abilities or anything like that. My goodness, she was surviving. Yeah. Her horrible life had to do with her affection and love for someone who was cruel to her. That turned everything in. So there's something like that in your family, or something like that she's pointing at in some sort of way. Overcome is one of the words I get. It could just be, it might not be as severe as what I described with my grandmother, but I actually believe that in some ways I kind of reflect my grandmother quite a bit. And I believe that she Yeah, I do think she speaks through me sometimes. That is true. But I also think that the life I am leading is in deference to her, honors her in some sort of way that I believe helps her on the other side. I believe me realizing my full potential will help her, even though she's on the other side. There's something like that with you, Caitlin. And cannot get off the family tree. She wants you to look at the family tree. And at the very start, and she's still doing it now, she kind of showed you being the matriarch of the family, like the head of the family, taking the reins in some sort of way. Because it doesn't absolutely have to do with age, it has to do with personality, the type of person, because not everybody should be the one in charge of the family, because not everybody wants to be the one in charge of the family. I hope you are, because Nan seems to think you should be. Okay, sorry, Nan, I apologize. Okay. Oh, that is so funny. Emerald, wondering about going back to school for nursing or if a different field of work would be better. Okie dokie. That makes so much sense when I talk about the hands. Yeah, I think you are in the healing realm and that you might want to have healing. You might actually want to look into nursing. And if nursing is too yucky, because to me, I couldn't do it. You nurses, more power to you. Thank God for you, because I'm not gonna do that. So, but there are many, many, many different ways of healing folks and helping folks. And I actually think you are blessed with different ways, and a little self-acknowledgement and self-reflection are the two things I heard. Those will help you to move forward and see how you are a healer. Okie dokie. Spending time with you helps you to get to know you. Linda Service. I love that. Very point. Yeah, I see a moving sign, for sale sign in front. And I actually then hear it won't be long now. And then I hear woo! Like fireworks, excitement. It almost looks like you're going to move from BC to Alberta. And like, wow, if you sold a house in BC and then bought a house in Alberta, you might actually be ahead of yourself a little bit. So that would be groovy. So there's something like that. And it might not be specific to the two provinces. They might be just using that as an example. So I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. All right. Yes, all three are linked. Okie dokie. Okay, groovy. You're welcome, Layla. Yes, you're sorry. I'm reading, and it's you guys don't know what the heck I'm reading when I'm reading. Sorry, my kids never. Sorry, it's my kids that are texting us the little things that you're hearing. So I just turned off my sound because apparently I'm popular today with them. It would see. Well, yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, righty. Oh, excellent question, Tammy. I'm wondering if my guides come to me in music, and how do I translate it? Excellent question. Mine use music all the time. In fact, actually, when I plug in my phone into my car and I press shuffle, I say, what do I need to know today? I do the same thing for my shower, actually, before my readings. I say, what do I need to know today? And it amazes me, actually, what the music that they pick out for me, the little playlist. And sometimes I'll be like, what is this song in here? And then I'll hear the lyric and go, oh, that's why this song is in here. So they're almost like confirmations when your guides use music to speak to you. It's actually quite wonderful when your guides use music to speak to you. People on the other side do as well. I always know when my dad's around because of the certain songs that he plays. And actually, yeah, my auntie, she plays a certain song. Walking on Broken Glass is actually what I keep hearing from her. So, yes, they do talk to you through music and such. And they're showing you, Tammy, actually writing stuff down. So that you might want to, that could actually mean you writing stuff down that you're hearing within the song that resonates, like certain lyrics or something like that. Or it could just be you taking note, because it's actually taking notes. So take note, notice, and even ask for things like, say, what do I need to know? Or with this situation, let me know what I should be doing. That is Absolutely valid. Awesome question. Thank you very much, Tammy. Hello, other Tammy. Hello, Tara. I think because of terra forma. That's why I'm thinking that I might say your name that way. And let me say hello to anyone else. Hello, Linda. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Now we're going to do I think by Christmas. Okie dokie. The immediate answer I get in my head is sooner rather than later. I actually see Halloween, which is much, much sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's what I am seeing. Scales and balance. I don't know what I said that may have brought you to that. I'm not sure. If you could clarify. Sorry, Megan. I even called you the wrong name. Okay. Okie dokie. Hello. Do you see when my sister and I will get our settlements settled? Oh, you're going to hate my answer. The answer is as soon as you're ready to. Isn't that ridiculous? I kind of think that everything has to align in the right kind of ways because sometimes things actually come to us when they're meant to come to us or when we're ready for them rather than when we think they're supposed to happen. I wouldn't sweat it whatsoever. They do not show you holding your breath, though. If they show you holding your breath, it's pretty darn soon. So they don't show you that. They actually show you sitting back and relaxing and waiting. But you might want to actually start manifesting a little bit, moving the amount of money up in some sort of way. You might, in the meantime, want to try to manifest money. So when you're doing your meditations, so to speak, when you're doing your meditations and clearing your chakras daily, you might actually want to see yourself sitting in a nest of money. I do that. Sometimes I see it as a nest of money. Sometimes I see it as money in water. Sometimes it depends. I don't always open up it's your root chakra. I didn't mention that, did I? Okay, so you open up your root chakra under the idea of gaining a nice, strong grounding within your root chakra. A good, strong grounding root chakra will attract more money towards you. You know what? It's kind of funny because your root chakra is your money, your security, and your ancestors, in my opinion. But also, money does make the world go round. But money is an energy. So if you want to attract more money, feel as though you have that money, or feel as though you've already got what you need and everything else is just an accessory on it. This want and lack and that we have is actually more restrictive. So believe yourself to be having this settlement come to you when you are ready to have the settlement come to you, and sit back and relax. That's actually the way because it's a given. Apparently it's going to happen. So you might as well just relax and wait for it to come to you. I hope that makes sense. And I was just going to say, I hope it's true, but I know it's true. And actually, when you say, do you see a new career path for me? They actually want me to say, of course I do. So I'm not sure what you're doing, but it might not be what you want to do, or it might not be something that's fulfilling you in some sort of way, because they kind of show that as yeah. And it might have to do with geography or where you are in some sort of way. Oh, he gave you a book with writing in it. Oh, okay, Megan. Thank you very much, Megan. Okie dokie. I love confirmations. You are doing a tree. Yes, it would. My bio dad. Okie dokie. Oh, awesome, Caitlin. Wow, goody. Okie dokie. Well, back to you, Linda. Awesome. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. That's funny. Layla, when you ask if things are going to get better financially, they tell me, of course they are, because they're not that bad right now. That's actually what they say. And you might say, oh, you're there, Bobby. You're not looking up a bank account. But it might be that there's things you don't see. that there's stuff in the works for your financial situation, and it could actually be feeding your financial situation. It might actually have something to do with your husband. There might be something more in the works, like a bonus or a higher paying job or something like that. And it might be without you guys even knowing about it yet, if that makes some sort of sense. Because sometimes, an employer's decided they're going to hire you before you even know they're going to hire you. You're kind of the last to know, if that makes, yeah. Yes. Take note of the songs. It'll really make a difference. Okie dokie, Catherine. Will my brother be evicted? Okie dokie. I actually hear yes and no. He might lose his current position, but he might just bounce right into another one. And is it his own fault? Is he actually digging a hole that he is standing in? And honestly, when they show him digging the hole he's standing in, and he throws dirt down his own back. Because could he possibly be his own worst enemy, or actually just making it worse over and over and over again? It could even just be attitude, which honestly, sometimes when things start going down, it can be very, 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 very difficult to see the light and to not, because expectation, Murphy's Law. If I believe it's going to go to crap and it goes to crap, then I was prepared for it and I was ready. It didn't come as a surprise. But actually, what if that is a manifestation? It could be that an eviction is the best thing for him. That sounds crazy. But that's actually kind of what I hear. Okay. Now he needs to straighten out, but I don't know that it's by you. It might be something else. They show him going down the path towards you and then veering off to the right, and that really works. Something about veering off to the right. And it could also be that your brother's kind of confused as to who he is, what he wants, and what he needs. Okie dokie. Now, I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Thank you, Layla. Okie dokie. Tammy, do I see you going back to work? Yes. I actually heard, of course you do. Yeah, because you have no choice but. And that, I don't think that means, you have to feed yourself and clothe yourself and blah, 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 blah. I think it actually, there's something that you're compelled to do in some sort of way. That, yeah, it is you. Yeah. And I don't know if you're retraining or there's something about you doing something a little bit different than what you were doing. So I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you so much for today. Okie dokie. Scott. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Okie dokie. That's funny. He actually shows you burning a piece of paper. And I can't imagine that you would burn his will and that he would tell you to burn his will. But in effigy, he said, he actually even shows Guy Fawkes. Are you Indigenous? Because to me, an Indigenous, and it might not even be, you don't have to be Indigenous. Maybe he understands this from the other side. The tradition is that when someone passes, Indigenous folks will burn a meal for them and food. And I actually think it might be done yearly or like a few times. But it is to keep them warm on the other side and fed on the other side. And now he's showing me the candle that Catholics, they light a candle for someone on the other side. There's something like that. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to honor him in some sort of way. Do you look like him? Because he just showed you looking in the mirror and your face is just kind of melted together a little bit. Sometimes that means because you actually physically look like him, but a lot of times it actually means that your personalities were very, very similar. There's something the same about the two of you. He does this with his heart, and I don't know if he's trying to say it was my heart or you have my heart. And then when I say that, he goes, both. You have his heart. He wants you to be happy. I don't know that he says not like me. So maybe you find a different way of finding happiness, or maybe he just did not present as happy as he would have liked to be, but he wants you to be happy. And I don't know if you're married or have a woman in your life, but he really shows a female, next to you. He also, you keep his memory alive. And this is not like him. He's doing that at you. That's what dead people do. Sorry, that's what he said. He wants you to know he's at a party. And I don't know if he had a lot of stuff, but he is putting a lot of stuff around him. It looks mainly like tools and things like that. So if you have to deal with his things and stuff and are worried about getting rid of them or anything like that, I actually think he's recreated them all on the other side. And I've seen that one before. I hope that helps. Okie dokie. Okay. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go to Anne first because I haven't answered anything from Anne yet. Hello, Anne. Okie dokie. My love interest man. He seems hesitant. Yeah, okie dokie. That's funny. I saw this yesterday too as an example. Have you ever had to coax a cat from something? They are so scared and they want to be in control, and you actually have to slowly coax them out from where they are. Now, I don't know that you want to be in a relationship where you're slowly coaxing someone along, but I kind of think that the hesitation has more to do with him than it has to do with you. I don't think that he is hesitating romantically because there's something you're not doing or something you don't present or have, or that you don't attract from him. I actually think it has more to do with who he is as a human being. They don't really show that he's been burnt before. I actually think this is him, that you need to, I've met lots of cat people, and they're not just people who own cats. They're people who behave somewhat like cats. They seem indifferent a lot. They seem over it and above it all and things like that. And sometimes I actually am being told that it's quite genuine. But okie dokie. Most of the time with a cat, the intimacy and the affection is on their terms because that makes them more comfortable. And because they do not feel like they are in danger when they are doing things on their terms. And I kind of think that's what you got going on. They actually tell me communication is key. You want to be as communicative and as upfront as possible. Innuendos and things like that might not quite make sense to this person. You actually might need to just flat out say stuff. But if you are trying to coax a cat from under a car and you reach for that cat too soon, that cat will not get close to you for a while again. So remember that. It's coaxing, and okie dokie. If you want the cat to come to you, they won't. If you relax and stay in your power, the cat will slowly come to you. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. And the man's the cat. Okie dokie. Honestly, Catherine, not if you can help it. That's the way that they put it. Not if you can help it. And I would change the word nursing to group. Okay. All right. Oh, it's your first time here, Anne. Hello. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I'm going to try and go to someone who hasn't had. Nell. Is that right? Okie dokie. Some hints about your future husband, if possible. Okie dokie. Okay. I see him down the path. So it might be down the road, might be a little time from now, but it's almost like you are, it looks like you're going to university or something like that. You might be at the point where you're actually building you and becoming more you. And that is why he's a little bit down the road, because they show as you do this, it looks so much like university or education, which to me is it might actually be university or education, or it might be actually symbolic of your growth into self. But they show you doing that, and that leads to this person. So honestly, I would actually completely and absolutely interpret that as you be you. You work on yourself and do everything you need to do, and it leads you directly to it. It actually, yeah, when you start to meet your needs, what you need will come to you, because the universe will see, oh, she wants the things she needs. So here, we'll just throw them at her. Because that's what they do. We set these patterns. When you are constantly accepting less for yourself, you will get less for yourself, because the universe will be like, oh, she likes it to be crappy. So let's give her more crap, because that seems to be what she goes with. And that's the way it works. So you work on you and move yourself forward and become what you want to become, because that person is the one that will be with the husband. That is the person who attracts the one that is the best you. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. I'm going back up here to Linda Service, because I don't think I answered your question. Alberta's too far from family. Also lived there before. Was thinking near 108 or Barrier. Barrier, 108 Mile or Barrier. I think that's what maybe we're talking about. Alberta is too far from my family. We lived there before, but also was thinking near 108 Mile House or Barrier. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I actually think you have specific needs. And you might want to go with those specific needs, like almost like you're on Love It or List It. And I've been watching a lot of Love It or List It lately. But if you give yourself or your own real estate agent in your head all the things that you need from a place, and then start going from all the needs rather than the place. I hope that makes sense. The place will fit the need rather than the need fit the place. Makes sense. Okie dokie. You're welcome, Scott. Oh, you're welcome, Pat. Okie dokie. Oh, well, thank you, Pamela. Thank you very, very much. Okie dokie. Okay, so we're going to have a few more questions, and then I'm going to jump off soon. Okie dokie. All right. So, I will try to finish up just what we have here. Shelly, I was just thinking about you the other day. That is so funny. See, this is what happens. If I think about people, boom, they show up within 2 or 3 days. It's awesome. So it goes the other way too. There are certain people I try not to think about, but I was thinking about you, Shelly. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. The new job, be writing a book. Would the new job be writing a book? Close to is actually the answer I get right away. Close to. So I'm not exactly sure what the heck that would mean, but that's the answer I got for you. So it could even be that whatever the job you get could be a job where writing is entailed, and then it moves you into the book idea. I would love to get a job writing a book. I have written a book. No one paid me. Okie dokie. That's awesome. Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. Okie dokie. I am very, very glad now. It's nice to see you too, Shelly. Okay, I think we're all questioned up. I think I answered everybody's questions. Look at me go. Thank you, everyone, for coming and being part of the live feed. It has been ever so much fun. Next Sunday, I'm going to be at the Alchemy of Gathering. Yeah, Alchemy of Gathering. That's what it's called. At the Native Sons Hall in Courtney this Saturday, October 7th. I am giving a workshop at 12:15 to 12:45. I should double check that. On being your own medium and how to develop your own mediumship. That's only going to be a half hour, so I don't know. I'm going to it all in. Honestly, anyone who wants to come to that workshop, I'll be answering questions and things. We'll just see what happens. Let's see how it goes. I like to fly by the seat of my pants. Actually the seat of my skirt. Okie dokie. So I will let you know if I'm going to be back here next Sunday, October 8th, but I know for certain I will be back here October 15th. Sunday, October 15th. Whether I'll be alone or with a fun little guest, I'm not sure. If you would like to be a fun little guest, message me, please. If you have a business you would like to tell people about, if you are a psychic and you would like to chat with people, if you're a regular human being and you just want to chat spirituality, give me a message and we shall talk about you joining the live feed because it's so much fun with other people. Okie dokie. So I'm so glad that everyone who did come was able to get their questions answered. If you did not, let me know. Okie dokie. Thank you so very much. Oh, Debbie. I just see a new question suddenly. Will these doctors figure out what answers are soon? Vague, I know. Will these doctors figure out the answers are soon? I honestly, Debbie, and I hope you know that I mean this with amount of love, and I actually think it's for you to find out, to be perfectly honest. I think the doctors are stumped for a reason, because I think that, and because I have a similar sort of thing. I'm supposed to tell you, you're not sick, you're just unwell. Yeah, I know that's a really strange thing to say, but I think what they mean by that you're not sick, you're just unwell. I think you're not at your most well. I think there might actually be energy caught in you. I think you might want to look into some self-love therapy. They're showing me yoga, but I don't hear yoga. So they might be telling you to get to know your body in a different kind of way so that you know what's going on. They're actually even showing me I am a yogi and I have found lumps within my body through Shavasana and my body check. And they're showing you doing that. I do a body check all the time where I just double check my vehicle that I'm running around in here. There's something like that. I'm supposed to tell you to worry not. I actually think that your ailments might have more to do with mental anguish, psychic anguish, and emotional anguish. I think it has a little bit more to do with that. And me saying that, they want me to try to convey that that is a very big positive, because that is something you can do. That is something you can overcome. I hope that makes sense. All right. Thank you, everyone who came, who asked questions. It was lovely to chat with you. I wish I could see you. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could actually see each other? That would be so cool. And everyone, yeah, I hope everyone, you did not message Shelly. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Debbie. Okay. Awesome, Debbie. Okie dokie. Is my friend Deb around me? Yes. Yes, Shelly, she is. You can smell her. And there's something that happens in your ear, like or something like that, to let you know. You might even feel it here because she's showing you, but you might be doing this thing rather than here. So she's showing you doing that, or like this in some sort of way. And look to your grandkids. They actually might be saying things to you, or like, that's a weird thing to say, or that's something Deb would say. Something like that. Okie dokie. You're welcome. All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week to come. And if I don't see you on October 7th at the Native Sons Hall, I will maybe see you on the 8th, but I'll definitely see you on the 15th. All right. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.